Team Spirit's turn to ban.
Do not move. They do not change facial
Aurora
expression during the games. They could get 10 kills in a fight, get the GG call, and it is going to just stay pretty stoic. Like, this is one of the most stoic teams at TI.
Things about Sven is that if you catch a black hole, not only do you cleave them all, but your innate means you get a bunch of extra damage during black hole too to secure those kills. It will be into an alchemist, which you can hit a tempo that is very fast before your opponents are ready. But I do think as time goes on, Sven outscales the alchemist, and you've got Warcry. I don't know if I love that pick. It has a very small window of success to me, especially when you're dealing with these on paper. Oh, we're gonna farm the islands, we're gonna get more money. You got a disruptor. Is he gonna help you deal with that? Are you going to have a strong start on this alchemist? I'm not that convinced.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not heavily convinced here. As
5
you know, you've got this alch that, yeah, it's gonna boost you up, but if it's not quick enough, like, it's got to be really fast. You're always in danger past that level 6 mark of just being globaled and black holed, like slowed down on, like, your map movements for Nightfall here have to be very, very smart, because I mean, Nightfall is not really the guy who's moving around outside the lanes. He is very up front, in your face. I mean, we know it. He BKB TPs out because he's put himself in these positions that may not really fit what Nightfall needs to accomplish in this game, and maybe that's just overthinking it, but I'm a little worried for the alchemist, like you said.
Yeah, I would favor Team Spirit here. Like, one, just as the game goes on, you've got Enigma, right? Like, Black Hole is one of the strongest spells in the game. You can always win a late game situation no matter how far behind you are off of an amazing ultimate. So that's already good for them. And then I do think they've got the scaling necessary to deal with an alchemist, to deal with the other heroes. That's not to say it's not possible for Aurora. I do think they've got some of the better stacking heroes in the game, especially that Shadow Demon. So a bunch of farm for your alchemist. And if you can get to the Eidolons, you know, especially like Thunderstrike the Eidolons, drop the acid spray, and you farm them, you will get a lot of extra money. I think Collapse is good enough to micro those Eidolons back, though, right? Keep them away, make sure they're safe, work with Rue to get the tossbacks, to get the aggressive potential. And as you have a good start, I think you maintain. You don't even have to push that quickly, because I think your late game's a bit better.
We'll have to see how it goes, though. Can the alchemist outpace the side of Team Spirit? And on top of which, you know, I kind of get these vibes that, like, Yatoro's like, all right, well, I've seen Ame make this work. I can make it look better. You know, is there that little bit of, give me Sven, I need to prove it, please?
I don't even know if it's like a I'm gonna prove it kind of thing. It's just like, oh man, Ame played it. That's awesome. That's what, my favorite guy's doing this. Like, I want to be like him. I want to do it too. There's always been that. He's always been a big fan of Ame, but also he's just an awesome Sven player, and it looked pretty good here. So I can also get behind it. We were talking about the saves of the supports, and yeah, they can kite Sven, but he can also just blink and delete them, and it just prevent any of their abilities from coming out. I think that's a nice thing about the burst from Sven.
Broken by Rue. He's gonna step up for a second and snag a bounty rune. All right, 3 for 1 though. That was almost 4 bounty runes for Aurora.
Yeah, Toronto Tokyo snatched it right in front of them. Otherwise, could have been 4.
You know, that conversation about just like Yatoro, really his favorite player is Ame, and just like thinking about that makes me think of like, what if esports had a Like Mike movie? I don't know if you remember that movie. Where
I don't know if I do.
Basically, Lil Bow Wow puts on Michael Jordan's old shoes, and then he starts playing like Michael Jordan, even though he's like 12.
This vaguely sounds familiar.
We should do that for esports. You know, you put on the headset with the cat ears, and all of a sudden you're playing like Ame.
Give someone the mouse and the keyboard. I am him. I am Yatoro.
I am him is honestly gotta be in the movie. We're making it. We'll talk later. Anyway, with the game in front of us,
I'm sure the players will agree to be in this.
Yeah, well, all right, maybe it's wrapped. I'm looking at this mid matchup, Kiyotaka here on the Queen of Pain. We've seen a lot of Queen of Pains just heavy on the Shadow Strike and just dominate these matchups. Is this kind of what we see here with the Shadow Fiend in the matchup, or is Laurel going to be able to kind of stand his ground and hope to have a decent lane in this one?
This is where it's a very skill-based thing. If you can consistently land Shadow Strike on Shadow Fiend, you will keep him low, threaten to blink on top, kill him, and once you blink, oh, Enigma
Collapse,
getting jumped on.
Not going to be killed though. He stays alive. That is aggression coming out from Panto and Nightfall on maybe a lane that I thought would be more farm oriented, but you find the opportunity to not get hit by Avalanche or Toss or anything like that. You do have Unstable Concoction to get things going.
Yeah, I wonder if I underestimated the combo here. Going well so far. Better than expected, actually. Usually you get the lane back and you just use Eidolons to keep the lane still. Something Tiny is quite good at, but Panto and Nightfall making it work right now.
So far, so good. It's that seed money, too. Get that seed money, get those bounties, do your thing, and hope to get as much farm under your belt as you can. Adoro, 11-6. He's got a good amount of eyes here. Avalanche on 2 kinetic field collapse. These Eidolons will not end up dead, but they're low enough where you can't really just run them at Nightfall, especially, you know, the positioning of these Eidolons have to be pretty perfect with Nightfall throwing that acid spray down to the ground. Bottom lane Shadow Poise in there looking for the 3-minute Lotus, and it's Toronto Tokyo who steps in there. Pause very quickly.
A little calculating right here. Can we do this, guys? Can we take this fight? Down here we got four members of the old Team Spirit original.
This is
Collapse missing the team reunion on the top lane.
Is Miposhka dead? That's the real question.
I think he's okay.
Onslaught and Trample. Mira's a little bit far to add more. He's got 1 stack of the Shadow Poison on him, so they could maybe get a couple more and get that kill if they can knock him up. They do have 1 level in the Stormhammer. Maybe they could. All right, he's just gonna leave. Never mind. Well, never mind the never mind, because they're gonna go for Miposhka. Stormhammer is going to be used. They're trying to get him 3 stacks first blood for Mira, and that is Miposhka dead.
Dire structures.
Well done. I was thinking you have Stormhammer, so if they
Collapse is dead.
Aurora came to play. Again, killed both sides. The pause was good for them. They did some quick planning in that time. Bottom, I thought Stormhammer. Yeah, the Stormhammer would cancel, or not cancel, but like waste the Trample and Onslaught time, but they disrupted him first and then went for it. So that was a really good play. And then top, this is not the Enigma pick, not paying off so far, even though I did not believe in the Alchemist.
Only the Alchemist is doing really well, but the question does end up becoming if he can hold on to that and continue to just kind of blow up net worth wise. And can you kind of farm, as now they might have caught themselves out the silencer again. Stormhammer comes through and the Arcane Curse, but the Onslaught's there, and Toronto Tokyo is just gonna trample over Miposhka's dead body. That Mira gets credit for the kill on.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's just 3-0 already for Aurora.
Well, the reason you picked a Sven is that you thought you'd be able to deal with this Primal Beast lane. Here's finally the toss back.
We were thinking about, yeah, toss back into the Eidolons. The damage, though, is it even going to be enough? They might just turn this. Panto trying to stay close, and Panto, he ends up alive. Meanwhile, solo kill mid. Kiyotaka went for it level 5 to get a kill on a Laurel. I think this is going bad in every lane now.
That's the thing. He was able to... I guess I got cut off when we were talking about it because they kept fighting the side lanes. you need to sneak in to use Shadow Strike without tanking too many raises. So it's really a very skill-based matchup in that sense. But it looks like Kiyotaka managed to find the window, kept Shadow Fiend low. Then you jump in, and at that point, you can't land multiple raises. You only have one.
That is tough for them, but now Nightfall body blocked. Maybe they can get the kill top, but again, it's just dealing with the unstable concoction. They've got these Eidolons, the Blood Grenade even committed here. It's just not getting it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Blood Grenade thrown to try and like maybe get Nightfall. Not gonna be enough. Early on, everybody is suffering on the side of Spirit, especially Ataro, who has got really not much net worth.
Dire are scanning.
This is a 2,000 net worth lead, and because of the fact that the Shadow Demon got first blood, he got another kill under his belt. He's just about there with the Sven.
Go into
They will end up getting Nightfall
finding
top.
a kill.
Collapse in the top lane, getting that kill, and that's right when the Disruptor leaves him solo to get that, and that ends up working out and feeling at least a little bit better as they finally get on the board for the side of Team Spirit. They are coming over towards mid. They do have Sonic Wave. They have Mira, who will have Disruption. The Disruptor is not here to throw like a kinetic field down or anything like that. He's going to cut or try to cut past Rue. Maybe they're thinking 7-minute Shrine. Not going to be that easy.
Are scanning.
But they are cutting towards Laurel.
Barely
Not
passing by
seeing
each
him
other.
either. Laurel's coming over, but I wonder if he's the one who ends up taking the Shrine, or if you just give it to Collapse to get him to 6. Don't give it to either. Give it to Rue, and then Mira takes the other one. Level 5 for Rue. He's got a decent amount of experience.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Silencer
attack.
working on level 4. He'd love to have the global silence. Of course, that's going to take some time. But the real winner right now feels like Kiyotaka, who got that solo kill.
Hasn't been able to find space to use Sonic Wave yet, though. Not for lack of trying. Spirit has been just reading the map well, playing it safe when he moves. But you do need to find... You need to keep the momentum going, right? You don't just win the lane as Queen of Pain. You want to keep that going, help your side lanes out, get
Dire's
kills there,
bottom
come
tower
back to
is under
mid.
attack.
It's the tough balance of Queen of Pain. So won the lane, so step 1's done. If you bring the support to kill mid, that also works.
Dire's
Second time
top
Mira's
tower is
here.
under attack.
They're trying. But also, Nightfall is doing a good job of keeping the creep wave in another spot to make sure that he's able
Is
to
under attack.
farm and not get caught again. Shadow Strike comes through on a Laurel, but they're just not going to get the damage to get the kill. Yatoro's sitting low, but he's got the God Strength. He's farming a couple of stacks. That have been made down here, and I say he's not able to get the kill, but now under the tower, the Shadow Poison stacked up, and he is dead after that Sonic Wave and Scream.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm a little surprised that they just kind of let that go down like that.
Maybe like me, he thought like, they're not gonna, it's my tier 2. We're 8 minutes in. They're not gonna get me here. Stuck around a little too long.
Yeah,
So
nobody there
finally
to
that
really
pays
help
off
out.
for Aurora. And straight back to stacking for Mira. Has his boots, you know, mess with the Shadow
Radiant's
Fiend a little
middle
bit.
tower
Go
is
stack.
under attack.
A lot of stacks prepped for
Dire's
this
top
Alchemist
tower is
who
under attack.
I wasn't sure about, but he is having a pretty good start here.
If they find a way to kill Nightfall again, I'd like to see Spirit play the other side of the river, because you got to expect they're making stacks for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do have a Sven, if he's got God Strength available, who could swipe them.
Shadow Fiend with the raises could as well. And I agree with you. If you can make a movement in there, that'd be great. But this is where the downside of the draft comes in, right? Tiny, not really the best at starting plays until he has that blink dagger. So you just gotta walk in. Enigma, same deal, right? You don't even really want to get the blink until later for Enigmas nowadays. You want to get the auras, Helm of the Dominator, you know, hot item of the patch again. That means you just have to walk
Dire's
in,
middle
and that means
tower
they'll be
is
ready
under
to fight you.
taking out a sentry.
Dire
This sentry that he placed down doesn't see the obs that was on the other side of the river. And that's unfortunate. Still giving them a good amount of information. Things have kind of quieted down as the laning has broken up a little bit. Avalanche running over. Panto going to be tossed, and he is going to die here to collapse. They charge up that stun. They bring in a +1. They're going to try and get a kill here on Taru. They've got Mira. It's a +2 with Kiyotaka showing up. And the rotations are heavy just to get this kill onto the Titan.
You still get the tower too, so overall, Spirit pretty happy. Alk, thanks to that winning fight, I guess gets to keep his stacks back here alive, as Sven was just doing the same thing down bottom with God Strength.
Radiant are scanning.
The fact that Alk is only 1,000 up right now is not too bad, but there's even more stacks in the triangle. So I think once you secure that, Alk is in a really nice spot. But if Spirit can make that aggressive play we were talking about, steal those away, I actually think you've then done a great job at mitigating Alchemist's power spike off of Greevil's Greed, getting that fast radiance, all of that. I think when he heads over and does that stack, he'll be very close to the radiance.
If he goes over that way, he might wait on it.
That's true. Sometimes they like to wait for. Yeah, they like to wait for the radiance sometimes before doing those stacks. Or maybe Toronto Tokyo's claimed them actually.
Rue doesn't actually go up there, but he places this ward down, sees the stack being taken by Toronto Tokyo. He might be able to just get Rue. He's in a bit far, but he's got that invis rune. Glimpse back to the sentry they placed down, so he's in vision. Yatoro, the God Strength Stormhammer that flies out. An onslaught across, and Toronto Tokyo's fine. They just don't have the God Strength. They don't have the damage to follow that up. And a couple of stacks here. The Shadow Poison. Laurel's in trouble. The Global Silence comes out. They go to the Requiem. This is all honestly in defense, at least for the moment. They still do not have God Strength. Mira's kind of in this weird spot. God Strength is used. Stormhammer comes in. He kind of knows he's hinged in this spot to die. That is a dominating spree that they do take. And now they've got some damage. Maybe they want to go and get a tier 1 tower, but they are bringing over the Alchemist, and Yatoro needs to be careful. He's going to be glimpsed back into the Static Storm, into the Pulverize. Do they have any help? No, they don't. So he just dies. They get an extra 100 gold on the dominated creep, and this is Spirit just looking lost in what they want to accomplish.
They're just having trouble forcing actual fights because they're lacking initiation. That's where it becomes easy. You try and you go, this is kind of hard. You try to walk away, glimpsed. So that got them 2 kills. They have a lot more mobility on their heroes, and look at these stacks. It's a good amount for Spirit, but Shadow Demon alone has the same amount of stacks.
Collapse is working. I'm currently working on getting Tranks. Do you get that? He tries to step up to Toronto Tokyo and then immediately pays for it. He's dead on his screen already. Just a question of who gets the kill. And the who is Kiyotaka. This is by 14 minutes as well. That means they've got a stolen shrine to accomplish. As Kiyotaka is going to be here, he'll steal the shrine, and everything is just lining up for Aurora.
Radiant.
They even tried to play fast to get a nether kill in the mid lane. Fortunately, Spirit got Laurel out of there, but doesn't look like they can get Rue out of there. They were thinking about trying to steal stacks based on what was happening top. Not fast enough. Aurora's going to get a kill for... Will Nightfall get it? Nightfall gets the kill. He's got his Radiance. He's now going to farm this Ancient stack. He's going to have a blink in about another minute. And then you are on track to play fast like you need to with this Alchemist.
And Sven just doesn't have the farm to fight back. He needs too many items right now. He needs the blink, he needs the BKB. Certainly needs the BKB to be able to do anything. And you think about that, the same it can be said for the Enigma. Needs the blink BKB to really find an effective black hole to do anything. Nightfall, he's grabbing a lot of gold here, just going in and taking this stack, and now he's just 700 gold away from a blink
Dire's
dagger.
middle tower is under attack.
I really thought these side lanes would go better for for Spirit. Mid, I'm not too surprised by. I think that could easily go either way, just off of little things, and we saw that Kiyotaka ended up with the kill, so he is now pulled ahead a little bit. But well, I want to say I guess Sven is on par with the Primal Beast, but Alchemist did a lot better versus the Enigma than I thought, with a weak support like Disruptor.
$5,000 net worth lead, more stacks, more gold,
Radiant's
more
middle
money,
tower
and
is
there's the
under
Blink
attack.
Dagger. Crazy farm happening for this Alchemist.
Crimson Guard finished on Primal Beast as well, so now even if you do manage to land a good black hole, that is going to protect your team from a lot of the damage that Team Spirit can bring in these early fights. You're gonna need a really big Requiem combo with it for this to work now. Here's the blink.
Charging up the stun. There's the blink. It's onto the Sven. And Yatoro nowhere to go as the Onslaught Glimpse comes in and Nightfall's got another kill.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The mid tower down with a free Sven, and you didn't even really have to commit anything fancy for that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, nothing big. It's not Static Storm, it's not Pulverize, not that Pulverize has the longest cooldown, it's 35 seconds, no Sonic Wave. This game just seems like, unless you can turtle hard enough, I would give Aurora an 80-something% chance to win.
With that said, Spirit is one of the scariest teams to play against, because even when you're, oh dude, Dota plus? Okay, getting there. Getting close to what you just said. Spirit is one of the best teams at holding on when falling behind. So I don't think you feel comfortable even as you pull this lead. You're like, I think things are going well, but boy, am I still scared. Spirit always seems to manage to find a good fight. And you've got the heroes, right? One, a big black hole, a Requiem deleting a hero, big Sven cleave, dealing with global. There's always a way to find a good fight for the heroes they have.
Problem is they really need this BKB on Enigma. Otherwise, now, especially with the shard being built for this Primal Beast, they can stop this black hole from a distance with so many different options. Global Silence gets used and Collapse tries to TP out, but he's dead anyway. And they have Rue stuck. Duels from the Queen of Pain. Rue is on the run, but there's nowhere for him to go. And the responses don't cost them that much on Aurora, and they're able to make them so easily. It just has not stopped. As Spirit, they're hoping to buy as much time as possible. They need to blink BKB because now Toronto Tokyo's got this Rock Toss. Even if there's no Static Storm or Disruption, if Primal's not in there, he can throw a rock and stun you from a distance to try and stop that black hole. He can stun you from a distance to set up a glimpse. Like, there's just so many options to stop this Enigma. And now Maposhka dead too. And this tier 1 tower, it's going to be pressured. We'll see if they just take it, but the creep wave is pretty far
Radiant's
forward.
top tower is under attack.
We don't actually see these rock throw shards bought that early on Primal Beast usually, but like you said, I like it a lot in this case to get the Enigma. But maybe if the Requiem as well, you see him channeling somewhere in the back, chuck a rock at him. Who would win?
Why not, right?
Demon Lord of Hell or a rock?
Wait, the rock?
The Rock? Ooh, ooh.
Laurel. He can't Requiem now. There's a disruption ready, or now he can Requiem because Sven's in their face, but still, the Yules from Kiyotaka, he's gonna just get kited. Where do you go? Panto's got Static Storm ready. Even if Sven was trying to get out, he would be brought back in with Glimpse. Rue is dead, and this just feels so out of hand.
Dire's middle tower is under
Save
attack.
your Shadow Fiend, but lose your carry and your force support? No, that doesn't feel very worth it.
Not really. Not really at all.
He didn't even really commit that much for it either. So I don't think you even have to stop, especially as BKB gets delivered on the Alchemist. So you're 10k ahead as the game hits 20 minutes. You can get yourself the Tormentor, you can get yourself Roche, push up to a 15k lead pretty easily. We'll see if Spirit can take any inspiration from the heroic games. See if they're nearly as good at snatching and stealing Roshans. I think you're gonna need it this time.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna need something like that. Now Shard for Mira. You were talking about having this demonic cleanse and how much that's gonna be worth. Again, I think the only chance here I see for Spirit is if this BKB timing that they're gonna get to, with Shadow Fiend getting a BKB, eventually Sven getting a BKB, and Collapse when that triple BKB timing is here, they can win a fight, and you know they're in it. But if that fight goes wrong, I don't think you find your way back.
Radiant.
I do think the next 5 minutes, or once the Aegis gets taken, the first Aegis is very decisive to this game. Aurora, usually you use the first Aegis to take all the outer towers and maybe poke a little bit. That's likely to still happen, but Aurora does have a lineup, mainly the Alchemist, who could threaten even more with that first one, and you need to put yourself in a position to be winning with the second one. But if you steal that Aegis, if you waste it, that's where Spirit, every time the Aegis goes down, they go, yeah, we just bought ourselves another 10 minutes to drag this one out. Trying to set up, but he blinks away.
By the way,
Radiant are scanning.
Stealing that shrine just feels like these supports on the side of Spirit are not getting much experience. The level difference isn't massive, but the shrines being taken feels bad.
Fortunately, you don't need too much experience on these supports. You just need the Blink Avalanche Toss combo, which is 50 gold away from being online. And then the Silencer, yeah, you'd like to scale up further, but technically, as long as you can global through BKB, like that doesn't change. The duration may change a little bit, but you mainly need the initial cancel of Pulverize and the prevention of saves from the supports. So at least you got that. I think it's really down to Sven continuing to farm up.
Yeah,
this is a hero that always feels like it could potentially win a game if you just maybe get a little lucky, but also force a favorable fight, which Spirit is so good at doing, and why you can never count them out. And you find that one fight where you blink cleave two important heroes, suddenly you see a huge swing around, which you're gonna need. 13k down right now. It's an Alchemist game, so some of that is, it's not as bad as other drafts might suggest. But he's working on the AC right now, I believe, which is going to be a really good damage reduction versus Sven, Shadow Fiend, even the Eidolons.
I wonder if that, when you say AC, but let's see. No, he's got the plate mail. He's got the Hyperstone already picked out, and I thought for a second, no way he's just going like casual Hyperstone. And you just spend that kind of gold on anything casual. As I glanced over at his inventory and his queued up, what I'm really staring at is this Enigma and how far away he is really from having BKB. Requiem, Global Silence, any kill is going to be a big one here, but there's the disruption. The BKB comes out, the turnaround is here. Nightfall is ready to try and get a kill, but the TP attempt from Laurel, the Sonic Wave, oh, it's out of the base! Oh God, Laurel thought he was free. Oh boy, Haru dies too, and that is just devastating. That BKB doesn't even save your life.
That was a good Avalanche Toss combo, and it only did half of Primal Beast's health. Oh, was that the Radiance that finished the job? Well, someone, either way, it's always sad to finish the TP and then die. Yeah, that's a bad state of affairs. When the Requiem Toss combo does not get a kill, you're kind of screwed. You gotta be in full retreat mode, and we've seen how hard it is to retreat from these heroes. You're just forced to try to TP out, and then sometimes that doesn't work either. It's gonna be the Aegis now over to the Alchemist, and you can start working down these tier 2 towers and maybe even poke at high ground. Ooh, especially if you get a glimpse onto Enigma.
Look at where this ward is, that they've got this vision. They are going to find potentially both Collapse and Rue. Pulverize on a Collapse. The damage from Nightfall, they get both. Again, that slows down the BKB for this Enigma. And again, 2 more kills and an Aegis for Aurora.
while they work down the tower, I do just want to shout out the supports for Aurora. I feel like, of course, the cores work with them in the laning stage, but these guys made it work with supports that are not the strongest in the lanes. They won the side lanes. Mira has been a stacking machine, and Panto keeps finding these glimpses. He's 0, 1, and 12. Keeps getting all these free kills on Spirit for his cores.
Dire are scanning.
Support's really doing a lot, carrying some heavy lifting. 0-1 and 12 for the Disruptor, 5-1 and 10. Yatoro does not have this BKB, and it's on his way. The Global Silence gets used, but he's dead anyway. And Nightfall gets the kill. Yeah, you got the BKB, but it is another kill for the side of Aurora. They just can't get anything to go their way.
Oh, ran point blank into that Alchemist.
Boy, Silencer's caught. And this is going to make it 3 kills for Spirit, 22 for Aurora. And they have no answer on Spirit. This is very reminiscent of game number 1 of Heroic against Tundra that we just saw.
Can't believe Rue got out of there, actually.
Radiant's top tower
was surprising.
In the meantime, they finished the top tier 2 with the catapult. And it looks like they were thinking about heading to mid, but the wave has been shoved in. This is where you gotta really activate split push delay mode, and you kind of see it Laurel in the enemy jungle over here. Yeah, my half of the map is not a good time. I gotta sneak somewhere over here. Timing is really good on it too. Finishes up the camp, so they're gonna respawn, you clear it out again, and then you run away.
I like that these players still know what they want, despite the fact that they're down so much. That, like, Laurel's queuing up, Blink Dagger, Aghanim Scepter. I want everything. I want a refresher too. Maposhka really in a bad spot. He's dead for 30 seconds. He'll have global when he's up, though.
Middle tower is under attack.
They need this BKB desperately for Enigma. He's not gonna find a successful Blink Black Hole unless it's all 5 of them
has fallen
without the BKB.
If you push right now, you don't have to deal with that, but there's still a minute 50 seconds on the Aegis, so they'll again back out, look for a pickoff, and if you get something good, you'll push with the tail end of the Aegis. Otherwise, you'll wait for the next one where you'll have the banner to work with. But they're coming over for the Wisdom Shrine.
Nightfall. Static Storm committed, steals the shrine. Now they'll look at Rue. This should be an easy kill again. And they are at 24 kills to only the 3 of Team Spirit. Straight donking them.
I think you just go. EKB 200 gold away.
Yeah, he's getting some gold here. He's got the greedy bonus on the enchantment, so it's almost 50 gold. Could this be the I mean, the only one staying forward is Nightfall. He's got an Aegis anyway. But now you've got the BKB. Do you just smoke up right here? Or do you wait 20 seconds and try to find somebody, knowing that this Aegis is up?
You kind of need the defensive positioning of your base to help you win the fight, though. But maybe you have to try. You know, the rate the game's going at, Aurora's going to maintain control. By the time the next Roche comes around, they'll have 25, 30k gold lead. So you got to do something. They move out. They don't actually catch the lane ward that is placed by Aurora in the top side.
Oh dear. Yeah, the warding's been really impressive. And Avalanche Toss throwing back BKB, and there's the onslaught. There's the Global Silence. They go to the Requiem, but Nightfall's right in his face. They get the Konamira. Can they get anything else out of this one? The Abyss Blade's finished on Nightfall, so he's ready to just stun somebody up. Rue's already dead. They've got the glimpse into the Static Storm that's on a 2. Laurel is in such a bad way. So is Yatoro, but there's the Blink with the BKB. No Black Hole yet. Finally throws it down. Oh, they've got the toss. It's on the Nightfall. The damage is there. Yatoro. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Spirit are here, and they are ready to claim anything they can. the damage finally shows up, and they get everything they wanted.
This is why Spirit was playing so patiently. You called it out. You need the BKB to get the black hole, buy as much time as possible, get the Crystallis on the Sven, and if we can just find the fight we need around the ward of our cliff, they black hole the Queen of Pain, toss in the Alchemist, wrap up those kills, starting with the kill on Mira. This is the save needed to prevent those black hole kills from happening. Has to use it on himself, still ultimately dies. The Requiem coming out here, and Collapse just hiding at the edge, playing it real safe, waiting for his opportunity. This is why you can never count Spirit out. 20k down, this is exactly where they want you. This is they've lulled you into a false sense of security. Fake black hole too from Collapse.
Waited a second to have Rue, who bought back into the fight, come over and toss Nightfall in. Yes, you lose Laurel there, but you do end up cleaning up a bunch. And on top of which, you know, now all of a sudden you're getting a Tormentor, you're getting some gold back. Maybe you can fight the next Roach. The big thing was, you know, it looked like the fight might have been bad the second that Static Storm went down, but there was no kinetic field to hold them in place. So Yatoro runs out. Laurel finds a little nook that he can kind of hide in, and all of a sudden there's a big fight for Spirit, and the once 20,000 net worth deficit is 12,000. But that being said, the cooldown timer is long. They're going to try and get Toronto Tokyo, but Yaturo's still in on this. The BKB is going to be popped, and Toronto Tokyo, he's got himself that Tumbler's toy, and they're going to blink in here on Kiyotaka looking for Rue. Ooh, they got the rock toss. That hits the stun. They get the kill onto Rue, looking for the Requiem, but that's a complete miss with that Aghanim Scepter and BKB. So Laurel just missed it all, and they ain't going to miss their target here for Aurora. They get this Shadow Fiend, and they will get a gem too.
Well, easy come, easy go. He stole that gem away from Aurora, which is actually a huge win. And then they get it back right away off of trying to jump a Primal Beast, who is extremely tanky. Not only high strength, but has the Crimson Guard, plus the save from the Shadow Demon, which is why we were a little scared about that Sven pick. All right, the disruptions and the ultimates are just so good at kiting out the Sven. Suddenly, I thought you were back in this game, and your tier 3 is about to die. Also, Kiyotaka just found your silencer trying to cut the wave. That was smart of him. He knew that's the only thing Spirit can try to do. Hangs around back there. It's not like he's needed for this push anyways. Nightfall is doing the work.
What once looked like a comeback, 12k after being down 20k, is now back to 20,000. If you look at the graph, it even just feels like a quick blip. It was there, and now it wasn't.
Wait till you guys see the rest of this graph, though, in the next 30 minutes of this crazy.
It's certainly possible, but you know, you are on a pretty long cooldown, right? Like it has to happen with Black Hole.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, but I think the first fight shows that it is doable, and part of what's needed for it to be doable is the Daedalus on Sven, which he didn't have before, but off of that earlier fight, buying enough time to get to the Crystallis, then that fight gets you to the Daedalus. This is where, on paper, you know you're ahead, you have 2 barracks, but at any moment, smokes like this, Spirit could find you. This is one of their strengths, and you know you can be killed and lose so much.
And a fight here would
Eating with Miposhka,
set them up for Roche too.
Putting Miposhka on the front to try to break those smokes. He can just buy back and global from the fountain.
Rue's in a good spot to break smokes. That's exactly what he's going to do. A blink forward. Now they're going to charge up the stun. Nightfall. He's going to find Rue.
I don't even know how we saw that, actually, but that is an amazing catch.
They don't have buyback on him this time around. Requiem comes in again.
Doesn't quite connect.
Doesn't, really connect on anything. Black hole on the 1. But they've got the disruption. They go to the global silence. The global was just too late. And this is going to be all Aurora. You used it all, and now you got nothing for your troubles. Yatoro collapse. Laurel, they die. GG is called. The global just a little bit too late to stop the disruption, to stop them from killing Nightfall, and that will be game 1 for Aurora.
So many good disruption saves this game from your emotion.
Smiles?
There was a smile. A smile. Hey, you beat your former team. There's always.
Te cogí.
No puedo ni la gana todavía. Mucha pincha, ¿no? Día 3. A pescado.
¿Te sintió olor a pescado?
Aquí.
Cuando abrió la puerta. No ha podido pescado.
Dedo.
¿Qué se puede dar con un pescado?
Ahora esa grasa la voy a quitar. Ya me andara. No me comí uno. Sácame una a mí también. No, hace rato. Ahora vino Orlando aquí a buscar la herramienta esa para abrir la puerta del carro.
¿De nuevo?
Se le quedó cerrado el carro.
No me queda cambio de carro.
¿Mm?
No me queda cambio de carro.
¿Quién? No, Orlando.
Ah. ¿El quién?
El quilla que tiene él. Dice que fue a cerrar el maletero y la llave se le cayó por el maletero. Ahí quedó mal.
5 seconds remaining.
Aurora Gaming's turn to ban.
Honestly, they made it look good, and Spirit, unfortunately for you Spirit fans out there, they look a little bit lost, I'll be honest, and they got to come out of this draft with something a little bit more hard-hitting, and hopefully they find it, because
Aurora Gaming.
And then you do all that, and then there's just a disruption save in the back. So that's what worries me a bit. I suppose that is one nice thing you have, though, right? You could blink ult the back lines. Even if you don't kill them, you could just take out both supports, like hitting each other for a while to finish up the rest of the fight. But I feel like there's easier heroes to do that as well.
So is this the safe lane Abaddon? Mid SF?
Should be, unless they want to do something crazy. The safe lane Abaddon does not have to worry about
10
being
seconds
killed
remaining.
by a quick echo, or say you get Winter's Curse. Because you have that second life, you're going to be able to heal up through it. You might kill your teammates, but
Choose your
price the carries are willing to pay to keep themselves alive. And the final pick is going to be the Undying, who should do quite well versus a melee hero like Abaddon. You'll have the shields to try to give you some sustainability, but you're still going to steal a lot of strength, get those denies, aggressive combo with the Snapfire. So I do like that last pick.
I'm still not sold on Undying, though. Like, it's not been the hero that I think, at least from what I've seen. Obviously the stats probably say something a little bit different, but I don't know, it hasn't looked good every time. Like, it's so hit or miss. It's got a 53.33% win rate, but I don't know. I always have questions about this hero. It's going to find a lot of
5
success
seconds remaining.
against the melee heroes of Toronto, Tokyo, as well as, having Nightfall on the Abaddon. And also, they got rid of those heroes that might be able to take out the Tombstone pretty quickly. It's going to be there for a while. He's going to be able to have that extra availability of zombies, the Tombstone, maybe the extra decays. After last game's performance, I feel like I'm leaning towards Aurora.
Or just in the jungle as a slow farmer until 18 minutes or worse if the game's going poorly. So maybe that's what Spirit's trying to capitalize on here, prevent Nightfall from really ever coming online, and then play fast around the TA. Earthshaker gets the blink, right? I can see these timings lining up. I could also see the timings of the last game lining up, and they just weren't able to execute. So as we get into this one, that's really what it is about, right? Whether the draft fully makes sense to us doesn't matter. You got to start with good lanes.
Yeah, it definitely has to start with the good lanes, and I mean, we'll hopefully see how that goes. What do you think about this safe lane Abaddon? What really, you're coming into the last pick, and you've already got the melee of the Mars. You've got somebody who's putting an arena there. You've got somebody who can hit from a distance with the Shadow Fiend, but what is it about the Abaddon that kind of sticks out?
I think the idea is that, let's assume you have a good lane. You're trusting Nightfall to be able to do that along with the help of his support. You get the Radiant, really good at burning down the refraction from the TA. They have a lot of burst damage and like big spells that have to get stuff done. The Winter's Curse, Echo, Mortimer's Kisses. You pop it, suddenly he has borrowed time. I don't care, your ultimate's end, I'm still alive. Now what? Like, how are you gonna kill me now? So as long as you're having a good time, I can see the Abaddon having impact, but you got to get through an Undying now, and that is tricky when you're working with a Disruptor. You can probably not die, because when he commits, you glimpse him back, but in terms of are you actually getting CS into this Undying who has stolen your strength and is denying in front of your face, that's the question.
So we get a little bit of chatter in the beginning of this game. And I think Toronto Tokyo had said, yeah, team begged me to play this, the Mars. And I like the banter back and forth that we've been seeing.
Yeah, this is maybe a bit of a surprise to them. The Toronto Tokyo's hero pool, right? He was a mid player. He won TI with the original Spirit Gang as a mid player, became a support, and everyone's like, is he going to be able to do that? Really worked hard on it. He became a very good support player and then moved on again. He's now playing off lane. It was the same pattern, a bit shaky, but he's really improved on it. The hero pool is still not as large as some of the other offlane players like Collapse, who've been playing offlane the whole time, but the heroes he does play, he has reached the same high level offlane that any other team has, which I always think is very impressive to be able to swap between roles.
Yeah, sometimes we see like that carry to we see like carry to 5. Sometimes we've seen players like Sylar do that, where he's like, all right, well, I'm done carrying. Or the Eternal Envy did it. The Eternal Envy, he went from that carry role. He played a couple of times at 5. There are those role switches that I'm trying to think of like what are the most iconic role switches, but
we see it a lot more now. There's a lot of carries and mids switching to either offlane or support, just because I don't know, there's not enough people playing those roles. But I'm trying to think of one notable support player going the other direction, becoming a carry, becoming a mid. It never goes in that direction.
Not really. But it never really goes from the support to carry. I know that players like Jingq have played every position professionally. That's always the interesting one. I think he started on carry and eventually now he's landed on support. He's played both the 4 and the 5. He's played every position, but like now he's the support. But definitely trying to think of players that might have gone the other way. Either way, we get into the beginnings of this game, as we'll see a 5-man smoke from Team Spirit. See if they can find anybody here. They've got 2 wards over here by the mid lane. One by the triangle, one right on the steps of the mid lane, but now the late smoke coming out from Aurora. Smoke gets broken, they back away. They do have some vision. Rue moving forward. They've got this Obs on the other side of the steps. Curious to see what Miposhka ends up doing with his Winter Wyvern too. Not a hero we've seen just yet, but now coming into the game, can it accomplish what they need to push this series to 3 games?
First pick of the tournament, right? Let's see what can get done. I do think the laning stage is still pretty solid. Harass with Arctic Burn. Splinter Blast is a good way to secure range creeps while also harassing. And the heal from Cold Embrace is actually quite a lot. Oh, seeing if they can bait Mira in here.
Yeah, for a moment. And they went to the level 1 on the Arctic Burn. Mira able to walk away, not giving up first blood this time around.
Does lose half his health, and
yeah,
you don't miss any creeps, though Toronto Tokyo was able to do a little creep aggro to get things where he wanted them. Well, maybe it's not the worst.
Nightfall with the level 1 in the Aphotic Shield, by the way. That is always, you know, one I'm willing to wait and see how this goes for these Abaddon's position 1. He's also, I have to say, he's got the Trail of the Burning Doom on the Abaddon. He is not on fire. It is just a glitched cosmetic that is causing him to look like he is on fire.
Doesn't that mean he's on fire?
Well, he's not taking damage from being on fire. You know, semantics here, all right? He's not taking damage.
There's no fire hero in the game. Well, I guess Mortimer's maybe a fire hero. Remember when we briefly had elemental damage? Ooh. It was in for a week. They added it with Brewmaster. They're like, yeah, you need fire damage to light this on your W. And then a week later, like, yeah, that was a bad idea. We're going to remove that. Yeah, just mind, magic guys. Damage.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
But maybe it'll be again. Dota 3.
I'm hoping. I'm praying. Dota 3, is it in production right now? We can only pray.
Elemental damage. As if Dota wasn't complicated enough. That'll be added to your neutrals. You choose fire resistance, ice resistance, all the different ones.
Now you gotta give me 10 choices. You need to give me 10 choices for neutrals. I need to be able to pick 2 elementals. If I can only do that, I'll be happy. Laurel, by the way, dragging this creep wave all the way over. Yutaka trying to catch up and can't quite get the creep wave to come on back, but he gets one deny on that. Pull the creep wave all the way over, and this range creep's actually going to get under the tower, but he should be able to kill it. Oh, no. Bottom lane. And to Nightfall. Just kind of doing the thing. Everything's staying quiet. We've had a bunch of bloodbaths in this day already.
It's another case where I feel this Abaddon's last hitting pretty well versus this Undying.
What's there to really be too fearful of, right? Like a Aphotic Shield just soaks up the little shredder. Yeah, you're getting decayed every so often, but other than that, you feel pretty fine.
As you get more points in decay, maybe it gets a little better, but it's supposed to already be good. It is a bit different than the usual hero pool for Collapse. I mean, he's a very good player, so I have no doubt he can practice it, he can do it. But usually, Spirit's drafts give him a more initiator type hero and favor later picks for Yatoro. Bit of a mix up this time with the earlier TA pick into the last pick hero for Collapse, and then it's an Undying. So it would make a lot of sense for other teams. It's a little bit different from the usual for Spirit. Maybe exploring a little bit. You know, we kind of floated that idea at the start where this is not an elimination match. So perhaps practicing new things, getting into form is better. Maybe this is the time to try out some different heroes. Undying in the off lane, the Wyvern in the safe lane, our new hero pick of the game.
Had 2 already on this stream. Kind of looking at what Kiyotaka has been able to accomplish so far. 22 and 11 to the 15 and 7 of this Earthshaker. Like the denies are coming in bunches for both these heroes, but Kiyotaka getting a lot of them. And it's not stopping him from CSing either. Like, life
Usually
is
the
alright.
totem for Earth Shaker is how you pick up the early CS lead while also harassing heroes, but Shadow Fiend is the ranged version of this, right? You've got raises to bully melee heroes like we're seeing, and then you pick up the souls for extra damage to get denies, and you have it all the time. He only has it when he uses the totem.
Rana Tokyo might be caught top. He's pretty tanky and he'll just spear. I said he might be caught because there was an Arctic burn, but I lied. There is no stun. They're looking mid again. They've got Glimpse. Rue pulled back, but Kiyotaka doesn't have a lot of life. He can't exactly commit to this. The damage that comes in from the totem and the damage is pretty heavy, but Mira off to the side. The fissure lands on it too. The blood grenade, they're kind of trapped in, but Poshka's around the area. They need these raises, but they will get the kill on a Laurel. And now Rue, does he survive this? They want Panto, but Kiyotaka's gonna get some help from Mira that turns into 1, 2, and maybe 3 kills. Mira doesn't quite have the mana. Kiyotaka doesn't quite have the life. So it will be a 2 for 1, but you did lose Laurel.
The Cold Embrace comes in at the last second, and he also has a Lotus. I'm sure he was trying to get there in time to use it, but they have enough magic damage to finish the job. Who's gonna get this rune? It is on the bottom half, but it's secured. Oh, it's actually denied.
Sometimes there are other moments, I think especially if you have a bottle, where it could get like denied and picked up at the same time. I've seen it like rare, very rare. Like same frame speedrunner nonsense.
Time for some Dota speedrunning bottle rune pickups.
Isn't every game technically a
Warden
speedrun?
set the record. Unbeatable.
And use those backwards jumps, those I don't even remember what it's called from the Super Mario 64 speed run.
I forget the tech. I forget the names. Uncapped movement speed though when you do stuff like that. No Bloodseeker in this game. Everyone's got to follow the movement speed rules.
Anto trying to sneak a shrine, but collapses here. He might die. Oh, it was so close. Oh, Panto. Oh no. I really thought. Oh god, the scatter blast. Oh man. I really thought he was gonna get it. That's so unfortunate.
Gonna at least live.
The last second. They stepped into that shrine. Oh man. Not the worst thing in the world. It ends up being 1 apiece.
As the laning stages end, yeah, I think you feel fine as Aurora, right? This Undying pick has not really countered you on the Abaddon. He's still farming pretty well. And actually, my critiques on Abaddon carry are usually that you farm really slowly to the Radiant, but he's actually going for the Helm of the Dominator that has been all the rage lately. So that actually means he should come online a lot faster, even if his lane had gone poorly. So this is a cool idea. Haven't seen an Abaddon do this yet, but I'm sure it works just like everyone else doing it.
I want to say this was almost the echo movement. Laurel did hit those creeps like he wants to just echo for the stacks. Ooh, cool.
This is awkward. Yeah, you want to echo here with your first one, drag them together, echo. But you got to know these guys are here.
Guys. Oh man.
You gotta be really careful about contesting these stacks. It's a great idea to steal them away if you can, but you cannot get echoed in them. You can't get echoed in them.
Guys!
Okay. Didn't get echoed. He secures his own stack.
That could have been brutal. I mean, it still can, but Pushka's now coming from behind. They committed to going for this. Yutaka, cookied, raise. He's got a Requiem if maybe he can get it off, but there's a totem again. The damage is... Oh, a fissure, Kiyotaka!
Third time's the charm.
He tried so many times. Panto's dead too. Collapse is also here. That was what, 4 times he tried to Requiem? Oh my god.
That's the value of the Earth Shaker. All the stuns in the world.
Masterfully denied.
in the end,
Radiant's middle tower
you
is
don't
under
steal
attack.
anything. You absorb some of the XP. You get a Snapfire kill, but you lose the Shadow Fiend, who had been doing really well. So the Spirit going to be happy with that. We do have the Helm of the Dominator online. I should say Helm of the Dominators. Abaddon has one, and so does the Mars. This is not a very common purchase on Mars, but I gotta say it kind of fits Toronto Tokyo's style. I feel he's played a greedier off lane where he tends to have a lot of scaling value. So it's the same thing, I guess. Just like the Undying, you'll have it to help you farm, to help you push towers. How many do you think we'll get? What's the maximum Helm Dom purchases in a game that we're going to get to at the end of TI?
5. I think there's going to be 5 or 6.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Giving me that little
reason
side
you'd go
sheet
higher.
over of
I'm trying to
guesses in the
think.
game. Ooh, yeah, true.
Dire's top
Got
tower is
the
under
glimpse. They have the arena. They will get this kill onto the Templar Assassin. Not messing around. They had kinetic
Dire's
field. They
top
had
tower
arena
is
ready to
under
go.
attack.
No static storm for that, but
Radiant's bottom
that
tower
was
is under attack.
enough.
Now you got all these Helm of the Dominator creeps to help you take this tower with the catapult too. And then TP right back
Dire's
bottom,
top
straight
tower has fallen.
back to farming.
I mean, it really is
Radiant's
kind of
middle
disgusting
tower
what
is
this
under
item
attack.
does. It really is. All of a sudden, Midas is Midas at home, because I've got a new friend, and it's Helm of the Dominator that gives me the gold and the experience and helps me push and farm and everything.
What's really cool about Dota though is that this has existed for a while and people weren't doing it. I remember when they first added this, that Helm of the Dominator would give the golden XP, and the Zoom meta was kind of dead at that point. Ooh, always satisfying to see the big echoes on creeps. And I saw that and I was like, oh, surely the Zoom meta's back. Surely this is gonna happen. And then no one did it. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm wrong, you know? And then they buffed it again. I was like, surely the Zoom meta's back. And then no one did it. It was like, oh, I guess it's still not good enough. And then nothing happens to the item. And then it's like, did you guys know Helm of the Dominator is broken? And now everybody's doing it as a Midas. So it is the complexity of Dota. The first read is not always right, and it takes time. And it's why when you sit on the patch for a while, I can't believe Laurel didn't get that.
Well, yeah,
You sit on the patch for a while, and you you get bored of what's good, and you try other stuff, and you find new things that are good.
I wonder who was like the first person to just kind of be like, whose conversation? Like, did you see this in a pub? Were you
Radiant's
watching
middle tower
a
is
Jenkins
under attack.
Herald review and you just went, maybe this is the most genius thing I've ever seen in my life before?
It only counts once you see a pro do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, where did the idea stem from? If you see like
maybe they generated themselves.
If you see a Herald do it and you taking that idea, there's some guy out there that is truthfully watching this meta and going, I was doing this since like years ago, or whenever, you know, it was able to be done.
Do something long enough, it eventually gets good.
Midas first item, Ancient Apparition. That's what I used to do, but it never got good.
I think there actually was a phase where that was kind of good.
Thank you.
You missed your window.
Ah, damn it. Meanwhile, Toronto Tokyo does have this Blink Dagger, so they do have Blink Arena ready to go. Static Storm has been picked up for the Disruptor. Shadow Demon going into the Glimmer Cape. You've got Shadow Fiend, Kayasha, no surprise. I mean, things have been kind of quiet.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, so far, still not quite seeing the purpose of the Winter Wyvern. Not that he hasn't contributed, right? He's moved around. There's been a lot of plays in the mid lane. But we actually see some of the reason that it's not picked is that it doesn't have the most early game damage. So in those fights, it was not doing as much as some of its other counterparts. So I'm really waiting to see some of these winter curses come out. And
Dying's got a Helmet of the
maybe
Dominator,
that's
by
what
the
they're
way.
imagining.
Dire's middle tower is under
we could get
attack.
2 more in this game.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, we're not going to, but God forbid. Unless support start picking it up, start getting gold,
Dire's middle tower is under
getting
attack.
golden experience, supports just all go for Helm as well.
I'm up for it. Why pick Chen when you could just build 5 Helm of the Dominators? You know what I'm saying?
I'm finding myself
Dire's
saying
bottom tower
I agree.
is under attack.
I'm scared. Scared of maybe me, but like also the idea. A little concerning. Nightfall just pushing away. He's got Cinder Conqueror, but they found Kiyotaka.
Disruption save.
Oh! Disruption save. Now the arena and the spear. Kiyotaka, how have you
Get
done
out of
it?
here.
Oh, the static storm. There's no scatter blast to get him. Oh, Spirit, you thought you had a Shadow Fiend, but instead you have just death. Oh man, Aurora, great movement. Sending Mira first to get the disruption save.
That's so good. I can't believe he made that. I think he had like 15 health.
Rue was trying to cookie to get some distance so he could scatter blast and maybe land the kill on Kiyotaka, but the static storm commitment to make sure no scatter blast comes out. Chef's kiss.
I was gonna say that's a pretty good kill to get with the Earthshaker and Snapfire ultimates. You know, you kill the enemy mid, but you don't even get it in the end.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where it's like, all right, well, we didn't slow down their timing, and now they're just going to continue to move up in net worth. And Nightfall closing in on this secret relic, 300 gold away. And this is kind of nice. I like that Nightfall's got the Boglet dominated right now. One of my favorite new creeps, new things in Dota in general.
I love the Boglet. But this is the thing. As I look at this lane, yeah, Boglet action. Boglet fight. This is the thing. As I watch him defend his bottom lane, Hurricane back, yeah, he can't really go on an Abaddon carry. This is an Undying off lane with a Helm of the Dominator, and this tower is barely below 50. It is still alive. Bringing 5 heroes to try to get the job done.
Tower is under attack.
That's
Radiant structure.
It just feels like this is not what the Undying offlane last pick is for.
A gift from the Tempest battle.
Radiant's
no,
bottom tower has
not really.
fallen.
And the Winter Wyvern kind of feel like you said, not really effective. But you know, we'll see if Spirit can bring it back. They were unable
Dire's
to
middle
pull back
tower
last
is under
game,
attack.
but now they've got their chance. Like, they need to find their way in, and this is boots of travel here for Toronto Tokyo. Glimpse, Maboshka, Hurricane even further into enemy lines, and there's nowhere to go. Toronto Tokyo waiting for his moment to spear kill steal, and that's what he'll get done. This is an interesting build here from Toronto Tokyo. Like, Helm of the Dominator in a Blink Bots BKB.
It's
kind of just
greedy.
be around. Oh yeah,
It's greedy, but when you look at the lineups, it's not that you strictly outscale on the side of Aurora, but how are they going to punish this greed? How do you play faster
Radiant's
on
top tower is under
Spirit
attack.
if you're not already doing so? Right? Like, it would be different if you were crushing the lanes and taking all the towers, but it's 18 minutes in. They've lost the tier 1 mid and just lost the safe lane recently, right? So you're doing okay. You're getting past all this greed, and Mars actually is a hero that can scale quite well if given the farm.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I guess the question is, what does he want to
Are
get?
scanning.
You probably get all the same Mars items, but a little faster, a little more guaranteed. Start with the BKB, and then I feel his main job is initiate. So when that's the case, we often see refreshers come out. I don't think he needs more damage. I think Abaddon and SF have that covered.
Dire's courier has been killed.
This is one of the things, by the way, that kind of worried me was Collapse loses his courier, which feels terrible. That's not what worries me. What was worrying me is the Earthshaker, and like I've kind of talked about this, where maybe we're not feeling its effectiveness. Obviously, I kind of ate my words last time I said it, but again, you're not really feeling the massive impact from this hero, and he does slow down on farm. Spear connects. They're looking for a Requiem. They've got the Arena. That will be the Fear on the Undying, who gets a double decay, but it won't matter. Maposhka and Collapse both end up dead. Nightfall gets one. Kiyotaka gets the other. Even with the Ceaseless Dirge, you're back alive, but what do you really accomplish? You're back down bottom to farm.
Is that the first Winter's Curse we've seen?
Yes.
I want to say so too, right? I mean, I got a goldfish memory. Maybe there was one other, but there's not been a lot.
Oh, yep. Yatra is surviving, but glimpse back to the other side of the Static Storm. Refraction or not, yeah, you got that blink off, but now, how do you accomplish getting away from this one? Mortimer's Kisses is coming through, but Root kind of knows he's already dead. He got the kill on a Panto. The Cookie connects out of the Mars, but the chase, it should be there. Spear ends up missing, so maybe he can find a way out, but it's so unlikely when you've got these blinks to cover the gap, and they will get another kill.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Another good fight for Aurora.
Not sure I'm seeing the value of the Winter Wyvern. Well, you know, okay, wait, new thoughts activating, the brain's working.
All right,
as we
all right,
watch the Tormentor get taken. Winter's Curse is usually pretty good versus like Lycan and Beastmaster, and now everyone's building a Helm Dom. So maybe that's what they were kind of guessing at. They're like, it's kind of okay for these reasons, and they're gonna have a bunch of Helm of the Dominators. Let's get it. I don't think it's paying off, but maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's some of the idea. Secondly, I was thinking about I was thinking about the boot to travel on Mars. There we go. There's the kill. You can just send the Helm Dom creeps around to scout, and you think it's just a creep and you're gonna mess with it, but if it finds a support, Mars could just come in and kill you. You can send it behind a tree. You think you're chasing it. Boom. Mars has TP'd in. You're dead.
What I really wish you could do is kill a camp and hide your creep there to replace it or something.
Yeah, I wish it was less obvious.
Yeah, you just sit it there and it's just like, oh man, what's that? I'm gonna go
and now
take this
with
camp.
3 Helm Doms on the same team, you can have the whole camp.
Oh my god, that would be pretty funny, honestly. Octarine Core for the Undying. Helm Octarine Core, I don't know, but now they've got the Arena Spear Static Storm, and again, now you've lost the Refraction. You can't escape.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No, you can't. You don't have a save like the Disruptor, or sorry, the Disruption from your Shadow Demon. Once you're caught, you are dead until BKBs come out, which are the next item queued up, but it is not soon enough for the Tormentor earlier, for Roshan, for all these fights that are happening.
I'm gonna say this: we've seen a lot of successful steals on Roche. I'm not holding. I'm holding my breath right now. Fissure.
Arcane in for Vision. He could do it.
Does he want it? No, he doesn't want it. He could have blink echoed if he wanted to. Yeah, no chance of a TP there.
My goodness.
Ain't no way.
Yeah. I mean, you could go in, you could echo and steal it, and then you would die twice after that. So I think that's why he's decided not to do it. But this one is pretty grim. 10k gold lead for the side of Aurora at 22 minutes and 22 seconds, actually. Perfect time to pause. I'm not sure what you can do outside of they clump up and you get an amazing Winter's Curse plus Echo, right? Sure. In a pub game, yeah, you know, the game's barely begun. But in this game, you just sit behind either the Shadow Fiend or the Amadon and then just let them hit buildings, and no one gets close enough to ever get ulted. And if they try to force something, you just disruption save. And I think if you just follow that step-by-step plan, pick who you want to go in front, sit behind them, I just don't know how you deal with that on the side of Spirit when you're this far behind. If you can find some pickoffs and then go into team fights, you know, maybe.
TP attempts, and you're free to leave. Yeah, this one doesn't really feel like there's a lot going the way of Spirit, but we saw in the last game, I know they didn't win it, that they make game plans to get a big fight to go their way. But it ain't as easy as setting up a black hole with a BKB and a blink. You need a lot more to go right here.
Yeah, it's technically doable, but it's a lot harder than the last game. Echo and Winter's Curse are always a way to win. And Mapochka has been saving for this Blink Dagger. It's his first item the whole game. I mean, he's got arcane boots, but maybe with the blink dagger you can get a big ult. Someone standing next to Amadon is your best bet. Maybe the Shadow Fiend, but this is spellcaster Shadow Fiend, so he doesn't hit as hard.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The issue is disruption save is just going to come out, so you have to find the Shadow Demon. You don't have to curse him, but someone else has to be dealing with Shadow Fiend as you curse somewhere else.
Radiant's top
Backdoor is
tower
up. They take the
has
top tier 1 at
Dire's
24
bottom
minutes
tower
into the
is
game.
under attack.
Still though, the aggression
Radiant's
from
top tower
Aurora
is
just
under
moving
attack.
forward, and
Dire's middle tower.
now they've got
is
this
under
Manta,
attack.
Nightfall, Arena. Not it. But not the longest cooldown spell. Do end up getting themselves a kill there on Teru though. That's a solo kill for Kiyotaka. Did end up using that Requiem to blow away this Snapfire.
Dire's
They
middle
can still
tower
push.
is
They can
under
still
attack.
send these illusions over now with the Manta style. They're actually going to cut the mid creep wave. And then you just take this tier 2 tower over in the bot lane.
You've got 2.5 minutes on the Aegis, right? You can make these plays. And going back to that boot to travel discussion, you can
Dire's
attempt
bottom
this play
tower
top.
is under
It didn't quite work out, but you deal with it, you
Dire's
shove the
bottom
lanes out,
tower
and then
has
you're still with your team. At any moment, you can just boot to travel back.
Radiant
It
are
it's like, I can't be Dawnbreaker or Nature's.
Dire's
Dang, I guess I'll get
middle tower is
Dawnbreaker at
under
home.
attack.
It's called boot to travels. So now you can show up whenever, thanks to the Helm of the Dominator. You don't have to even worry about a creep wave being nearby.
Another pause as they move to take the tier 2 tower mid. At least Nightfall's there. And they're going to walk by and amplify damage for this Shadow Fiend. And they might run into these heroes top. Which would be
Or perhaps they'll
pretty
run
scary.
through the top lane between the tier 2 and the tier 3.
Maybe.
That's the plan now. Lines drawn. You got 2 minutes on Aegis, plenty of time. If you find someone, great. You've taken 2 tier 2s. You could possibly finish the top tier 2, or you could just go straight high ground, depending who you find. And if you don't find anybody, you still got, you probably got like a minute and a half at that point, right? You just start pushing the lane for something. Look for another pick off. Why not? You don't even have to break the high ground with this one. This is the first Aegis. You can get the next one afterwards. Oh, sorry. In my head, this tower was already down. Now it's done. Okay, now you got 2 tier 2s down.
There it is. And they do draw that line in between the tier 2 and the tier 3. They might walk into collapse. Or they might kill Rue. And do they find collapse as well? He's TPing out. Nothing to stop
Grief by
that.
Croaker? No. As heroes were getting close, might have done it.
That was always dangerous.
Croaker's the big Aurora
69% win
fan.
rate here for Aurora. Nice. As they have this 11,000 net worth lead, and it's 16-6. It's not getting anything done. You're hoping the TA can kind of find a moment to have success. EKB, Deso, Blink, maybe. But this Disruptor has the Blink, and now usually that means it's time to build the Ags, right?
Yeah, I was trying to think, like, do you even need it this game? But yeah, why not? Ooh. Even with Kaya Yasha, not fast enough to get that TP cancel.
I don't
Yeah, I see no reason not to get the
Dire's middle tower is under
Ags.
attack.
You could potentially just buy a support buff item, because I think Aghanims will finish in, 10 plus minutes for a slow farming support. The game might be done by then, the way things are going. So you could just buy a smaller item. Depends on, do you want
Dire's
late game
middle tower
insurance,
is under
or you just want to
attack.
all in on your power spike right now?
Yeah, we'll see what he ends up queuing up,
Dire's
or really
bottom
what he ends
tower
up
is under
choosing.
attack.
Sentry combo down here. He's got this Blink Dagger now to get the gap closed to throw down a Static Storm. BKB is available on the Earthshaker there too. And Undying is building his, but he's still a full item away from it. He's got 1,600 gold still needed to at least have that. But can Spirit buy time?
If you So they just got a gem, and it's on Toronto, Tokyo. You have to have this versus a TA so that you can take out traps, because it's how she's going to avoid you, split push the map to drag this out. So if you manage to find a good fight here on Spirit, steal the gem away, possibly off of an Aegis defense that might come up in about 2 minutes, that would buy you 10+ minutes of time, because you got to wait for the next Aegis, you got to wait for like purchasing gem again. Then a 10k gold lead at 40 minutes is not as big of a deal for Spirit. So if they can find that dream fight in the next few minutes, then I can see a comeback.
Metro ends up blinking south. They'll find Collapse, Spear back, and Requiem lands. That's a dead Undying. Almost happened into TA, but unable to find him. He went south after picking up the shrine. I say that. This is
BKB.
Yeah, but maybe you could force it with a glimpse, and yeah, you at least get that. He's gonna try and get out of here, and they're following.
Radiant's middle tower is under
This BKB is not gonna last much longer.
He just got a town portal scroll delivered.
Oh no.
Thunderstrike's
Nobody
off.
else is here. Yeah, nobody else is here.
He should be good. His team has smoked over. They know they can't lose him, but he's out.
I thought for a second Glimpse might come off cooldown. It is not that long of a cooldown, especially when you're chasing like that. But they have found themselves room now. They'll get a kill in the Snapfire, get some more gold going their way. It's just who will get it. It'll be Toronto, Tokyo. Well, maybe the neutrals might snipe it. Sometimes they do that. They're looking to get a Hex on Mars, and he's got 4,600 gold. That's gonna be
sometimes
really
you see
good.
the refresher first, but this game you don't even need 2 ults. As long as you're finding a good initiation, you're winning the fight the way it's going so far. So he's gonna get the Hex first, refresher after that. They're just waiting for Roche now, sweeping the map with the gem, finding what pickoffs they can in the meantime.
So far, and Aurora have done a good job in these first 2 games. They just have to close this one out to get this 2-0 victory over Spirit. They're taking their time. They're not forcing anything too far forward. They're not going really too far out of the way to potentially put themselves in a position that might end up costing them the advantage that they have.
Yatoro is farming pretty decently, all things considered. So he does have the damage to kill various heroes. The issue is that you can't easily burst the enemy carry because it's an Abaddon. Mars, pretty tanky. It's got to be the supports or Roche. Can you do this fast enough though? Here come the Boots of Travel Mars.
Actually looking to try and get
Run the other way by time. Fake him out.
And they're gonna get
totally not roaching. Don't look over here.
They're gonna get it. Aegis.
Don't forget the banner, guys. Banner, banner, banner. Okay, thank goodness.
Not bad, but is that gonna buy you the timing? You know, Aurora without Roche, or Aurora too scared to try and fight and or go high ground.
You could still force it, but it's a lot riskier. The Aegis was supposed to go on whoever they want to hit towers, the Abaddon or the SF, and just go Maposhka, Maposhka.
Shh, don't say anything. I'm hiding.
Maposhka, what are you doing on that cliff?
They dusted. All right, they found him. They found him. They're like, is he just sitting here invis? Like, oh my god.
That's time wasted, I suppose, but they are gonna push. So this way you don't have to have the Aegis. If you get a pick off, you can go. The Aegis is actually to deal with Winter's Curse and Echo. So I mean, if you take one of those guys out, then you feel a little bit more confidence. I don't think you commit too hard, right? Just send some illusions, creeps, poke at it. You don't have to do a full dive, and you certainly shouldn't do a full dive.
And you don't really even see them
Radiant's
committing
top
that far in the
tower is under
lanes. So,
attack.
like, they are sitting back.
Yeah, this is why that Aegis steal is actually a really big deal for Spirit, because 5 minutes on the Aegis and then 8 to 11 minutes on the respawn itself.
Arena and the BKB TP attempt. That will be an escape. Another BKB used defensively from the Earthshaker of Laurel. And immediately Abaddon is TPing back to the outpost to maybe put some pressure on, but Aposhka able to blink, but now he gets glimpsed one way, the other. Winter's Curse is used now, and Nightfall's just it. Static Storm's gonna split the fight. They go and throw these Mortimer's Kisses out there, but Yatoro here with Collapse to try and fight Nightfall, who's got borrowed time. It's not like he's all too unhappy about the way this is going, but the Echo Slam, now the Hex from Toronto, Tokyo. That should be a dead Laurel, and will be. They already got the kill here onto the Winter Wyvern. They're going to look over at Collapse. He's got a lot of life. Yatoro even blinks in to try and help out, but he's going to lose this Aegis, and that could be problematic. Kiyotaka setting up to get the timing here with the Requiem. Slams that down. They've got the bashes, and now Yatoro is going to be dead for the second time. He has buyback, but Collapse is right behind him because he's dead too.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Aegis not required. Now that they're dead outside the base, you can push up here, and these are heroes that attack real
Dire's
fast.
middle tower is under attack.
Trying to cut the creep wave.
Dire's
You
middle
should be able to kill Rue.
Dire's middle
Aposhka
barracks
technically has
is under
winter
attack.
proof, the facet, but I don't think that's going to be enough here.
Dire's middle
I also
barracks
don't think you can
is
even
full.
walk
Dire's
up. I think if you
middle
walk up close enough to use Cold Embrace on a building, you get killed. So he just has to
Dire's
watch his
structures
buildings
are
die,
fortified.
wait for his team, then they can all watch the buildings die together.
No backdoor,
I
but
don't
Collapse is
think you
pushing
can
the bottom
fight
lane.
this.
Link in arena, and Godspeed Spear catches Laurel. Even that far back, he thinks he's safe, but that's not the reality of the situation. With creep still in, there's no backdoor, and there's no mid set of racks, there's no bottom set of racks. This game in just about over, where Aurora are going to secure this 2-0, and they're going to go for the tier 3 now
Dire's
top.
tower is under attack.
Radiant.
And there is no answer to this. If Laurel hadn't just died,
Dire's top
maybe you
tower
mount
is
one more
falling.
final defense, but
Dire's top barracks
I don't know.
are
What's that
under
defense
attack.
even look like, right? You
Radiant's
Winter's Curse
bottom
someone,
tower
look at the
is under
positioning of
attack.
Aurora. Mira standing in the back, you're not going to get to him. He's going to save whoever you
Dire's
Winter's
top
Curse.
barracks has fallen.
There's not enough creeps to
Dire's
echo.
top barracks has fallen.
Yatoro can do some damage,
bottom
but he
tower
can't
is
do it
under
all
attack.
on his own, especially as they've had time to start building up some armor items. You got Ghost Scepters on supports. You got AC on the Abaddon. I don't know. Anyone feel like taking a dip in the fountain on Aurora? You got fountain divers over here?
Not sure if that's what I want to be doing. Just gotta secure whatever we can. Hopefully so. But all right now is looking solid. It's all fine for the side of Aurora. Question is, what do they want to do to finalize this game, right?
They get the refresher onto Mars. The Disruptor was finishing up the Aghanim's. He's like, guys, please let me finish it. I'm so close. I want to have it in my stats at the end of the game. So they've got it now. They'll group up behind the Abaddon. Same deal. Just let him hit the buildings. Counter initiate if anything happens. Now that you have the mute on Static Storm, I guess you can force the issue if you want. You know, what are they even going to do? They can't BKB turn it around.
They try. BKB jump in. They've got the Hex. They go to the arena with the Spear. They should be able to get a kill on a Collapse very quickly, and they do. Nothing really stopping them there at all. Life feels pretty solid. I've said that twice already, but, you know,
Super solid.
24,000 net worth lead ahead. 26 kills. You've only given up 6. Now you go in. Yatro's been found, but Red Ally
Tombstone
not
save.
gonna matter as they get the kill onto the Templar Assassin. They'll look to the rest. The Mortimer's kisses are coming through, but there is no buyback available on the TA. Collapse is dead again. Down goes Rue. The disruption that will get a catch. Echo Slam's not gonna matter. Laurel is dead. GG is called. Full team wipe for the side of Aurora as they take the 2-0 over the side of Team Spirit.
Buyback greatest Winter's Curse ever?
Aurora Gaming.
Not this time.
Not this time.
Well played to Aurora, I gotta say. This was I thought it was gonna be a hype series and very close.